Hey guys, Josh here, and welcome back to my Andromeda Initiative Analysis video series. So last week we did the sort of orientation and sort of an introduction to it all. This week is the Arks and Nexus. This is a really interesting one. This is the one that's interested me the most so far when I watched them. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Greetings and welcome, recruits. I am Avina.
So firstly, Avina's back, which is pretty cool in a way for a little bit of kind of continuity. Avina's kind of a universal VI thing that they would of course bring with them, so that's kind of cool, but in the same way Avina is incredibly annoying, but it's nice to see her return in a way.
Your virtual intelligence resource and guide for the duration of this briefing. Inspired by the Milky Way's citadel, the Nexus is a smaller, streamlined space station designed to serve as your central support hub and temporary home once in Andromeda.
Temporary home. Now, I'm guessing that doesn't work. I'm guessing with the sort of stuff that's going to go wrong in Andromeda at the start, that the Nexus is kind of going to be a more permanent home in a way. And it's going to be the centre of government, like in the original trilogy. I'm guessing it's there as a kind of giant kind of arc, like a big giant version of the smaller arcs, but it takes a more permanent role as a centre of government maybe, eventually. We'll see.
The Nexus will carry with it a contingent of officials, engineers, traders, and security personnel on its voyage to Andromeda.
Right, so you got, like I said, you got scientists, professionals, traders, it's cool. So there'll be, I imagine it will be just like the Citadel. You'll have kind of your shoppy areas, your wards, kind of. I mean, there's more into that later on anyway in this video. But yeah, so it's confirmed there's trading, so there'll be loads of traders, which would be kind of cool. And different, because you had traders in Mass Effect 1, and then you kind of had them in 2. And they they weren't that big a role. They were just kind of customization options. I'm hoping in this one, they make it more in-depth RPG, that there will be actually differences between armor pieces again. More like the first one, when you went to a trader and they were just selling fuck tons of different armor and weapons and stuff like that, which would be cool again. So hopefully. Also, they said there's a security force. I'm putting a guess out here that it's going to be called NSEC. Instead of CSEC, possibly, for the Nexus. We'll see. That'll be kind of cool, because, yeah, CSEC was security, so NSEC makes pretty much sense. If it's that, then come back to this video and praise me for it, but that's just a guess. But yeah, it would fit, so I can just see happening. Let's carry on.
All remaining humans will travel together, 20,000 strong, on Ark Hyperion. Even with faster than light travel, it would still take several human lifetimes to cover the 2.5 million light years to your destination. Survival will be made possible by spending the majority of this voyage in cryostasis, protected beneath the Mass Effect shields generated by your pods. As you travel to the edges of the known galaxy, a small escort of combat pilots will defend us from any threats.
I guess that goes completely wrong, and that's going to be how the Mass Effect Andromeda opens, with you arriving, and if there is this, like I'm predicting the Ket to be kind of this empire across the galaxy, then they are going to be waiting for you, and they're going to obliterate most of your security force and leave you spread out, completely separated, fucked up. And that's what it seems to be, is that you're completely spread out from all the other arcs and the Nexus, and you have to kind of find each other again and put each other back together again. Another point is, yeah, it said how it takes a long time to get there, but also some questions is that there doesn't seem to be any kind of mass relay system in Andromeda, obviously. So there's no real way to jump about. So you're very, very limited to where you can go in this one. And I imagine if they're setting this up to be a trilogy, which it seems to be, maybe during the course of the story, you're going to find a way of jumping about. Maybe the Ket have a way of jumping about, but that's locked to you, obviously, because it's theirs. And maybe by the end of the game, when you overthrow them, again, this is all speculation. This is just speculation based on what I've seen. Maybe you overthrow them, and then for the next game, you can then have more access to the rest of the galaxy, and that's how they're going to do it. You have access to a portion of the galaxy in this one, and then in a future game, you'll get access to a lot more, because you're going to have some sort of relay type system, which would be kind of cool. Let's carry on.
However, once we cross into dark space, we will be alone with only our kinetic barriers to shield us during our centuries-long journey. Once in Andromeda, the Nexus and Arks will rendezvous in the Helios cluster, and operations will commence immediately. While the Nexus will be largely functional at launch, many elements of its construction are only scheduled for completion upon arrival at our destination.
Okay.
Docked to the Nexus, the Arks will provide additional power and storage to the station.
Right. So that raises a question of story structure, which immediately clicks with me, is that maybe you're going to find the Nexus quite quickly, and they're like, well, we need the other Arks to be able to be fully operational. So maybe part of the story is to find the other Arks wherever they've ended up. So I'm guessing you're the human Ark, you know what a human Ark is, so you connect that. And then basically maybe your progression in terms of story and also in terms of upgrading and that kind of thing is told through finding other Arks, getting them back, connecting them up, and then new things, abilities, whatever. You know what I mean? In terms of upgrading your kind of hub will come from finding the other things. It would be kind of cool. So sense of progression there, and that you're building something with the other races and you're setting a home, which is kind of what I guess they're really going for in this game.
You will be revived and assigned quarters in one of the residential blocks for a short time, as our immigration staff assists you in choosing a new homeworld.
Again, I imagine that'll be more permanent, and also there you can see it looks very much like the Citadel we're used to with the Presidium and the fake sunlight and the fake sky and all that. It's very, very, very familiar, but also at the same time unfamiliar. If you notice there in the background there, you can actually see a window and you can actually see the stars. That's incredibly weird but cool to see clouds there and stars there. It is really cool. And also you notice this is the Tempest here, which is your ship, and it's sitting in the middle of the Presidium, well, whatever it's called now. But yeah, it's kind of cool to see that image.
Until the Pathfinders have completed securing these habitats, the Nexus will offer many duties and distractions. The archives in the Cultural Center house the combined history of the many Milky Ways.
Right, and if you notice there, we can see some races there. We can see a Solarian there, human there, Krogan there, and that is about it that we can see. We know Sari's a thing, so I'm guessing they're there somewhere. But it's really cool that, yeah, you have access to a history. This will be how they kind of really tie it back to the original trilogy in a way. Maybe there'll be some kind of reference to Shepard here, possibly, which would be a nice little thing to find. It'd be really cool to see how they use this area.
Species, and will assist new races encountered in learning about our galaxy and its past. Lush hydroponics gardens are available for a quiet escape. Or you can also take the opportunity to socialize with a visit to the Vortex Lounge for any desired off-duty indulgences.
There's the club, of course.
The Operations Center will oversee security and management of the entire station, housing everything from colonization efforts to Pathfinder HQ, where Pathfinders will converge to share information and discuss their progress.
Now that's something that clicked for me is they've said that multiplayer is not at all as tied to in terms of being necessary with the main story, unlike Mass Effect 3 when it was needed to get your score up, your galactic readiness rating up. That being said, they have said that the multiplayer is a way of kind of really interweaving with the story if you want to do that, but it's no way necessary. Basically, I think the way they've said it is that kind of you can send out teams on missions to take like bases and stuff, and if you do it in single player, then you just kind of send them, and I think it's on a timer thing, very similar to what they did in Dragon Age Inquisition, when you told someone to do a mission for you and had a time, so 10 minutes left, and they come back with XP, money, whatever. I imagine that'll be what it is, but they said if you want to, you can then hop into multiplayer and actually do that mission as just a random squad member. So that's kind of cool, how it's entirely optional, but there if you want it. And it said here, this is where you can meet with other Pathfinders. I bet this area is where the multiplayer will be. If it is, that's really cool, interweaving it into the game. Then maybe there'll be a menu somewhere. This is where you can send out to do those missions, and there'll be an option to say matchmake. And then maybe, just maybe, and this is just wishful thinking, this area will be a kind of a little lobby area where you can see other players, possibly. It makes the multiplayer really interweaved, but at the same time, like I said, completely optional. which would be really cool to make multiplayer more meaningful, but again, optional at the same time, if you get what I mean. That'd be really cool to see that work. That'd be a really cool way of doing it. Anyway, let's carry on.
The state-of-the-art science labs will also be on hand to investigate their discoveries as they begin to unlock the secrets of this new galaxy. Together, you will create a bustling center of trade, community, government, and diplomacy. The beating heart of your new beginning in Andromeda. I invite you to visit me there for further assistance.
Okay, so yeah, like I said, they want to create a hub, a kind of central government. It's really cool how in Mass Effect that was just there and you were part of it. It was like, wow, look at all this. And you got that sense of how long has this been here and how is it set up, all that. Well, this is the story of how you set up another one, which looks really interesting. And hell, maybe, you never know, maybe the next game, if they plan one, is set another few hundred years later, and you're a completely new character, but you get to see the results of what you did in terms of setting up the home. So yeah, I have no idea what their plan is in terms of other games, but it'd be interesting to see if the role of the Nexus as this kind of central form of government in future games. So that's it for this episode, guys. Next week is about the Tempest itself, the ship, and the Nomad, which is the new Mako, basically. So I will see you then, guys. Bye bye.